Dubai was supposed to be unstoppable. For years, the city sold the world a dream. Endless luxury, futuristic skyscrapers, packed beaches, and investors throwing money at anything with a palm tree logo. Social media turned Dubai into a symbol of success. If you made it, you moved there, but lately, cracks are starting to show. Empty marinas. Quiet luxury districts. Reports of stalled construction projects. Airports that once symbolized non-stop growth now facing slower traffic in certain sectors. Some of Dubai's most iconic attractions are seeing fewer crowds than expected outside peak tourist months, and people are asking a question that once sounded impossible: is Dubai over? Now, before anyone gets angry, Dubai is still rich. Still glamorous. Still one of the most visited cities on Earth. But cities built on momentum can become vulnerable when that momentum slows down. The problem is that Dubai's rise depended on one thing above all else: perception. As long as people believed prices would keep rising, businesses would keep booming, and tourists would keep flooding in, the machine kept moving. But when confidence starts slipping, even slightly, the effects can spread fast. Real estate investors are becoming cautious. Some expats are quietly leaving. Luxury developments that looked unstoppable a few years ago now face harder questions about long-term demand. And behind the Instagram lifestyle, many residents are dealing with rising costs, expensive rents, and increasing competition for jobs. Dubai built itself as the city of the future, but what happens when the future starts looking uncertain? One of the biggest warning signs isn't in the skyscrapers, it's in the silence. Dubai's luxury marinas were once packed with superyachts, parties, and wealthy tourists showing off impossible lifestyles. Places like Dubai Marina became symbols of non-stop excess. Every dock looked occupied. Every restaurant looked full now. Some residents and visitors are noticing something different. Certain marina areas feel quieter than before. Some luxury boats sit unused for weeks. High-end retail spaces rotate tenants faster than they used to. And despite flashy headlines about new billion-dollar projects, parts of the luxury market are cooling beneath the surface. The issue isn't that Dubai suddenly became poor. Far from it, the issue is oversupply. Dubai spent years building more towers, more hotels, more luxury apartments, and more attractions than almost any city on Earth. The strategy worked when global money was flooding in. But maintaining that level of demand forever is nearly impossible. At one point, developers believed there would always be another wave of wealthy buyers ready to arrive. Another boom. Another record-breaking project, but global conditions changed. Higher interest rates worldwide slowed investment. Economic uncertainty hit major markets. And many international buyers became more careful with money that matters because Dubai depends heavily on foreign wealth. Unlike cities with massive local populations driving the economy internally, Dubai relies on attracting outsiders, tourists, investors, entrepreneurs, and expats. If fewer people arrive, the impact shows quickly, and luxury is often the first place where slowdowns become visible. Because empty marinas don't just mean fewer yachts, they signal hesitation. Nothing represented Dubai's rise more than its airports. Dubai International Airport became one of the busiest airports in the world. Millions of travelers passed through every year. It turned the city into a global crossroads connecting Europe, Asia, and Africa. For a while, it felt unstoppable. Then came the shock that changed global travel forever. The pandemic. Flights stopped. Tourism collapsed. Airports that once handled endless crowds suddenly looked abandoned. Massive terminals sat nearly empty. Luxury duty-free stores had no customers. For the first time, Dubai's non-stop motion completely froze. Now, tourism has largely returned. But the pandemic exposed something important. Dubai's economy is deeply dependent on constant international movement. If the world slows down, Dubai feels it immediately, and even today, some analysts warn that the city still faces risks tied to global instability. Airline competition is growing. Regional rivals like Saudi Arabia are investing aggressively in tourism and aviation. Cities that once trailed Dubai are now trying to compete directly with it. Saudi Arabia, especially, could become Dubai's biggest long-term threat. Why? Because it has something Dubai doesn't: enormous natural resources and a much larger domestic population. Projects like NEOM aim to attract global business, tourism, and foreign investment on a massive scale. Whether those projects succeed or fail, they represent serious competition, and competition changes everything. Dubai became powerful partly because it dominated the region as the business and tourism hub of the Middle East. But dominance is easier to lose than to build. Especially when new arrivals have bigger budgets and even bigger ambitions. Dubai is famous for building the impossible artificial islands shaped like palm trees. Indoor ski slopes in the desert. The tallest building on Earth. Megaprojects announced with cinematic trailers and billion-dollar promises, but not every dream survived. Scattered across Dubai are projects that quietly stalled, disappeared, or never fully recovered after economic downturns. Some developments were abandoned halfway through construction. Others launched with huge hype but struggled to attract enough buyers or visitors. During the 2008 financial crisis, Dubai faced one of its biggest reality checks: property prices crashed. Construction stopped on major projects. Investors vanished almost overnight. For a moment, the city's rapid rise looked dangerously fragile. Dubai eventually recovered, largely thanks to support from Abu Dhabi and a rebound in global investment. But the crisis revealed something important: Dubai's growth model can be extremely vulnerable during economic shocks. The city moves fast during booms, but fast growth creates risk because many projects depend on future demand that hasn't happened yet. If enough investors pull back at the same time, entire developments can become stranded. And today, some critics argue Dubai may still rely too heavily on spectacle: bigger towers, bigger resorts, bigger announcements. But spectacle alone doesn't guarantee long-term stability, especially as global markets become less predictable. The real question isn't whether Dubai can build incredible things, it obviously can. The question is whether the world will keep buying the dream forever, because cities built on ambition must constantly prove themselves, and eventually, every boomtown faces the same challenge: what happens when growth slows? Tourists see luxury, residents see pressure. Behind Dubai's glamorous image is a reality many expats know well. Life there can become incredibly expensive, incredibly fast. Rents have surged in recent years. Competition for jobs has intensified. And many workers feel trapped in a cycle where maintaining the appearance of success becomes part of survival. That's one of Dubai's contradictions: the city markets freedom, wealth, and opportunity. And for many people, those opportunities are real. But the lifestyle also comes with pressure to constantly keep up: new restaurants, luxury cars, high-end apartments, exclusive events. In a city built around image, status matters a lot. And while wealthy elites may barely notice economic shifts, middle-class residents often feel them immediately. If salaries stagnate while costs rise, people start leaving. That matters because expats make up a huge percentage of Dubai's population. The city depends on attracting skilled workers from around the world, but attracting people is one thing, keeping them long-term is another. Some residents eventually realize they're building wealth for landlords, not themselves. Others leave after burnout, rising expenses, or job insecurity, and as remote work becomes more common globally, cities everywhere are competing harder for talent. Dubai is no longer competing only with nearby cities.